Hey traders, welcome back. Today is Friday, January the 29th, 2021. And we're just getting ready here. We're probably, it's 5 a.m. Mountain Time, my time. We're getting ready in a couple hours here to get into our live trading room and once again, live trade the zero data expiration SPX. But I wanted to take a moment and go through our trade from a couple of days ago, which was Wednesday. Crazy day in the marketplace. Dow was down 700 points at one point. And I just wanted to go through our trade for Wednesday, for the 27th. Not because it was some amazing result, but because a couple of questions that I get asked almost more frequently than any other on trading the zero data expiration strategy is how powerful are adjustments versus stop losses? How do adjustments come into play? What can you do with adjustments? And this idea of adjusting trades is not necessarily just a defensive approach where you're trying to mitigate or minimize losses, but it can actually be used to enhance the profits. And then the other thing is, the other question, of course, that always comes up is, well, I can see how these types of trades would work well in very docile, calm markets, but what happens when the market goes crazy? What happens when it's crashing, or what happens when it's shooting up, right? And so I think both of those happened this past Wednesday. We did have to do some adjusting in our trade, and it actually did end up resulting in a profit, but not just a profit that was larger than what we would have had we not had to adjust. So, again, this is the cool part of adjusting, right? You're only going to adjust a trade if you get into trouble. You're only going to adjust a trade if you start to get into the red zone, you start to lose money. And then to be able to adjust that trade and actually not just come out, without having that loss, but actually increasing the profit potential of the trade, that's pretty cool. And then at one point during the day, you can see the lows right down there of the day. That's the open of the market on the 27th. And this little dotted line right through there, that's the close right there. So you can see the low of the day. Dow was down over 700 points, I believe, at one point during the day. And again, the inclination is to believe that, when markets are docile, this is a great strategy. Guys, the best time to do this strategy is when markets are going crazy. Now, I say crazy, you still want directional movement, but it doesn't matter whether it's up or down. That push with IV allows us to do a couple of things. It allows us to get the premium that we need to get massive potential rates of return, but it also allows us the flexibility of maybe only needing to put one side of the trade in, maybe only put the puts in, or maybe only put in the calls because the premiums are so high. But I just wanted to go through our trade on Wednesday. You can see them, obviously, each one of them is delineated over here, and then you see an interesting journal entry right here for a cash settlement of $924. What happened with this trade? Well, you can see right here, this is our first trade right in here. These calls right in here. You can see that we went in on this at about 8:16 a.m. and we sold the call leg right up in here. There's your price, there's your strike, and we sold our call leg right here. A little bit later, 9:39 a.m., we entered the put leg down here. So far, so good. You can see that we timed the entry of that call leg just darn near about perfect. Sure looks like we entered the put leg at an absolute perfect time right here as well, and it was for a little bit. But then you see that market sell-off starts really accelerating. So right in here, this was about noon time. Right here, you can see that we cashed in this call leg. That call leg was essentially worthless at that point. We cashed that in, we booked our profit on that leg, and the market continued to fall down and fall down and fall down. And it started to approach, you can see right in here, started to approach our put leg right there. we were actually right down on top of our put leg. And so as a defensive mechanism, as an adjustment, we added another call leg right on top of the pricing that we were sitting on right there. And then you can see as we went into the close, and that's this last trade. That's this trade at 1:38 p.m. So literally, what, 22 minutes left in the day, left in the trading day. We added that leg in there. And you can see that the market actually finished just above that leg. So we finished in the money on that leg. You can see that we sold the short the 37.50s, and I think we finished at 37.50.72 or something like that, 72 cents or so in the money, and that's where you see this cash settlement. So a couple of things here just of note. This is one of the reasons why we do like to trade the SPX versus maybe the futures or something else, because it does cash settle. And number two, you can see what the results of all of this were over that day's trading. Put up about $11,000 of capital, yielded after all fees and expenses right up here, yielded about $1,929 return, about a 17% rate of return on that trade. And it would have been about an 8 or 9% rate of return on that trade. So we just about doubled our potential, well, not our potential, our actual. We doubled our actual rate of return on the trade in a marketplace where one of our legs finished in the money and the Dow was down over 700 points at one point. If I told you both of those aspects of this trade, hey, one of our legs finished in the money, the Dow was down 700 points, most people would say that's probably going to be a bad trade, that's going to be a bad day to trade. Ended up working fabulously for us. And again, it comes down to entering your legs in a staggered manner, using some of the technical indicators that we use. You can see that we really did hit that call leg pretty darn good. We hit that put leg pretty darn good too until the sell-off took place. And we probably should have, in hindsight, captured whatever profit we had in this right up in here. But nevertheless, it worked out just fabulously on the day. And I just wanted to show that to you again because it is all about adjusting, and it is all about entering your legs at the right time, at the right place. So we'll see again today how it goes for us, but we're having a lot of fun in our trading room. Have a good trading day, guys, and be safe out there.